So I did not get my kitchen clean yesterday. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna make a rhubarb crisp. I'm just looking around at all the stuff I gotta do. And then I'm gonna make a rhubarb crisp, banana bread, because I got some banana breads that, bananas that need to get turned into bread. And who knows what else I'll get into. So first, cleaning up. You can stay there for right now. Right now you're on my stove, which also needs cleaned. All right, let's clean. If you didn't notice, sorry, like the move forward a smidgen. I don't know if that's gonna help. I'll just say it like this. So as you can see, I changed out my kitchen curtains. Yeah, I changed out my curtains. I have to wash my pans, but I'm gonna do that later. I just use this pan in the oven when I like broil the toast bread. So I just had crumbs on it and I just put it back in the cabinet. It's not really that dirty. You go there, and I need to blow my nose. And it's not like I have like stuff to blow out, it's just the allergies have my nose like that tickly feeling. Oh, I can't stand it. From my hair this morning, hanging here on the top of the step stool, because I took it out of my hair when I was getting the kids something to eat this morning. Alright, let me wipe down the stove real quick. It's not perfect, but at least it's getting worse or anything. I don't like frying foods. I don't cook with grease, so like it doesn't really get dirty. But I still do a quick wipe down. I can tell I'm gonna need to do an actual clean. But I think some of that's like the soap and the sponge. Oh yeah, that's better. I can like smell the metal and I can't stand it. Like as I'm cleaning it, the metal smells just like, oh. It's the same like when I scrub my sink. I am very, very sensitive to certain things, and like that's something I notice. When I do a full clean, I'll pull the knobs off and clean it, but I'm not getting that in depth today. and I am going to be doing baking and cooking. So I'm just getting like the worst of the crumbs and stuff, scrubbed the spots, and anything else like around like the edges of the burner that really needs scrubbed, I'll scrub later when I take it all apart. My stove doesn't really get messy to begin with. And it's not that I'm not a messy person, you know, whatever. I just clean up after myself. So this like wipe it down in the morning is usually just like crumbs from whatever fell through that pizza sheet that I used to like broil all my stuff in. So those crumbs, if I sprinkle like cinnamon sugar or something like that. That's good enough. And I just do a wipe over the hood just to make sure there's no dust once this is wet, because then it sticks to this and doesn't float around everywhere. Okay. So this part of the room is... Put you back underneath the head. We were like... And that's stained. I have like scrubbed in there. Somebody tried to like paint it. Yeah. Somebody tried to paint under the oven hood. To each their own, I guess. Yes, I just did that. Extra butter and temperature. I gotta figure out what to do with these. Once I melt these and the smell's gone, I save them, and then I add my own scent to it so I can just keep reusing. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take just some of like my various, and I have other shapes too, not just round ones, but I'm gonna take some of my silicone muffin liners that I don't like silicone. I can smell it in my food and taste it, you know what I mean? I can smell it out of the oven and taste it in the food. So I'm gonna use those to remelt the, or reshape the melts in for my warmers. And my warmers, usually I only have on at night because I kind of use it as like a nightlight in the room, as well as just smell overnight, because during the day the windows are open. So I'll add a couple drops of usually of essential oils to what's in them, like the one in the living room that's been that melt has been in there for probably a month, and I just add oils, a couple drops every night. I keep all my silica gel packs that come in at anything that has it. Purses, Cameron's dresser had 6 drawers to it. Each drawer had one in it, so that was 6 more. So I just use an empty container, put them in it, and I hold on to it because you can use those in food. You can use those as anything that you want to keep dry. I actually was out when I did most of my organizing of my cabinet. So the jars that are up top that have dry goods in them, I am going to take one, put it in, and then re-screw the lid back on, just so that way no moisture or anything collects. If it gets hot outside, there's no kind of moisture condensation that's gonna develop inside the jars. I've had jars freeze during the winter. Hopefully I won't be here for another winter. However, if the beings out there determine that I need to be here for another year, then so be it, another winter, and I'll make sure I rearrange my cabinets before freeze hits. I don't know quite what I'm going to do with these jars yet, and I really don't know where to put them to store them. Got some room up in that cabinet, so I'm going to wipe them off, set them here, set my step stool up, put them away. Once I put my hands on something, I like to put it immediately away. So rather than wipe them all down and put them on the counter, and like get distracted by something else. I was trying to find a better way to put it. Like, I'm already getting distracted by folding this, but I'm gonna take this, put it on the chair. This is how I stay productive and on task. I'm sure there's people out there just like me who like start doing something and they get distracted by something else, and you know, rather than finish folding laundry or wiping down the counters or doing dishes, you've now started 100 tasks but not finished anything. I have my extra sweetened adult. This is going to be interesting since this is going to be a full unedited vlog for you. Like, it's going to be long but fully unedited, nothing edited out at all. So it'll be interesting. Sweetened condensed milk and evaporated milk, I have like 3 or 4 cans of. So I'm going to pull that down. And I think I've got a thing of Goya coconut milk, because I mean, you got to have that. I feel funny. So I'm going to pull those out and put those in on the shelf in the other room, since I don't remember my baking cabinet yet, because I'm going to be going through that. You guys are going to see a lot more baking videos here very soon. But I'm going to pull that stuff down, and then I'm going to make that space for my jars. Get them up, get them out of the way. I'm probably not even going to finish dusting them off, because honestly, they're just going to get dusty up there. I'm going to save myself the time and aggravation. Why do more work than you need to? That was just like literally right before I said it, I thought of that. So I'm going to pull those things down, put those up, and let's finish cleaning this kitchen before we get baking. And it's funny, the things you find in the cabinets. Various green beans dash hours. So these are beans that I grew last year. I dried the beans that had like the last bean or two that had been left on the vines. So I'll have to grow those. This one doesn't even have a lid for it. I don't know. This one doesn't have a ring. Those are my misfit jars. Alright, so these, I'll be back. Alright, so that's one more thing out of the way. I've got some returnable bottles. I haven't made returns in over a year, but we don't really go through bottles. These I get from the studio when I'm at work, and I'll grab maybe 1 or 2 of them a month. So we don't have a lot. This the kids got from their dad's house, which is very rare that they bring something home. So I've literally got like 1 or 2 shopping bags full of bags for like a year and a half. So at some point I'm gonna have to return them, but we'll get on anxiety another day. Those I did just set on the table just because I really don't feel like going into the storage closet right now, because I know as soon as I go over there, I'm going to get distracted by cleaning the litter box and sweeping the floors, vacuuming the rug, and all that. Plug to the blender. Keep that handy, because this new blender is amazing and I use it all the time. Alright. This I need to clean the inside up. I'm going to leave that right there. It's kind of more decoration than anything. You guys might remember, sorry, I know that gets quiet. I'll have to cut that part so there will be a little editing. Anything that's too quiet, I'll cut it, I'll raise the volume, and then paste it back in where I get close again. You guys might remember when the kids did their dino stuff, and I said I was going to keep the pterodactyl. I did. Believe in yourself. This stuff, once I'm done baking, all the fruit scraps and everything will go out into compost. I'll make one of these right over here, since over here's where I'll do the baking. So I have this stand mixer, but I've only used it once, and I got it Black Friday. So yeah, and all those containers that I just set over on the table is, well, that's just the dumping spot of the moment. I need to do some food prep. I just noticed the kids' water bottle that I've been looking for is in there, which is good to know. Cameron was helping me put dishes away. I'm just so proud that he was like, oh, it's a plastic container. It goes in with the plastic containers. But yeah, I've got to do some food prep. I've got to refill like the cereal and snack containers into like the other containers that we use to dispense them in. So I will be doing that, not right at this second. I'm going to finish wiping everything down. This was barely wet, so it's starting to dry. So I'm going to just wipe everything down so that way if there is anything on the counter, I can get it on this, not make too much of a mess on the floor, although I do need to sweep and steam mop, but that's for another day. I stole these water beads out of Cameron's sea animal kit because I was like, oh hell no. So I'll have to find a new hiding place for those because those were hiding behind everything. But yeah, my counter's about clean. I am thirsty, so I'm gonna get myself a drink, refill some of these containers. I might shift you guys a little bit so you can see a little bit more. And yeah, we're gonna get baking here in a second. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, this is a glucosamine, chondroitin, curcumin, all joint support. It's called Move. I absolutely love it. I mean, it's helped alleviate a lot of my joint discomfort and joint pain. Like, I'm not making like any claims that this is absolutely gonna like help cure anything or whatever, but I mean, you guys know I've got health issues, and if something helps, I'm gonna use it. And then so many of you commented on my hair growth, how crazy long it's gotten. I have cut my hair now 7 times since I started growing it out a year ago. And it is so freaking long, like so long. This is what I've been using. It is a peptide gel. My hair, my nails, my skin, everything is good with this. It is like, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. I'm telling you, this is like why I like will go blow my nose, but I'm sick of wasting tissues for no reason. I'm wiping off my makeup off my nose. All right. I hold in my mouth probably like, I just want strawberry lemonade, so it's all this there. I love it. But I hold in my mouth for 10 to 20 seconds. It's a sublingual, so it absorbs directly into bloodstream under the tongue to start working faster. And then it'll still absorb through your system for like, I don't know, just works all day. And this was a mix-up of antioxidants because I hate drinking plain water, so I always like to add something to my water. And I like to add something that's going to be good for my body. Yes, and by the way, those packets are like a delicious snack. Like before, I used to grab a thing of the kids' gummies. Earlier in the video, you did see me eat some of those little mango rolls. Did I ever? Yeah, I did eat the second one. I had to think about it. I'm like, did I ever eat the second one? If not, I'm going to go out and eat it because they're so good. I might open a second one. But that's like all I eat now as far as snack stuff. Like I'm not even ordering the kids' gummies anymore. Because they're not going really through them. They like the real stuff. But this is like a healthy snack. That's almost like a healthy snack. You know what I mean? It gives my brain that snack filling need. I don't know. Whatever. This is one of those squirrel moments I normally delete. All right. Banana bread. White bread. Cinnamon rolls. Baked beans. Banana bread. Ooh. Oh my God. Tell you my nose. I actually washed the dish towels. So I'm used to washcloth today. All right, so banana bread's gonna be first. Let's get that going. I realized when I was taking those sublinguals, I was like, I'm getting kind of hungry. At the glare, I'm trying not to be rude. It's all right. It's a beautiful view out my window. You can enjoy it as well. I'll give you a moment. Okay, moment's gone. I realized I was getting hungry, and all of a sudden I just heard the bells dinging as I like unpaused the recording, and it's 11 o'clock. I'm telling you, like it just, After a certain time of night, I'm usually not hungry. Sometimes I'll snack if I'm like anxious or whatever. But yeah, I just don't ever get hungry before 11 o'clock. Anybody else like that? I'm like meant for intermittent fasting. My body just does it. It's like a bird that keeps like coming up to the window, and that's why I keep looking like, whoa. Instead of squirrel, it's bird. All right, so I am going to make the banana bread recipe that's kind of been like passed down in my family for a while with a slight modification. So in the recipe my family gave, we use shortening instead of like butter or oil, but I'm gonna use butter just because I feel like it today. I don't know why I was just tempted to throw that in the sink. Like, I don't know. It's been like room temperature, so it's kind of soft. Goodness. So an entire stick of that in there. And then a cup of sugar. But I'm doubling it, so I actually need 2 cups, because normally I would have just used half a stick. I'm serious when it comes to cooking. So much sugar and my flour are going 5-gallon buckets. I'm okay with a little extra. Whenever I'm baking with eggs, I always crack the eggs in something that's separate. It would be horrible to be using the last of some of your ingredients, or not even the last, but just to have to waste it because you crack an eggshell or a bloody egg in your food. But before I add the egg, I am going to just kind of mix together the butter and sugar. It just helps the sugar and butter mix in with the rest of the ingredients without clumping together in your recipe. And yes, I could have used the stand mixer right there to do this. But I just have something about like doing it by hand. Let me know if you're also the same way, if you're not the kind to use a stand mixer even though you spent the money to buy one for this. And I also could have cut it in with this, but I don't. Now that that is good and mixed, The recipe calls for 2 eggs, so I actually need to do 4. Sugar in there. I'm afraid it's going to squirt everywhere on me. Vanilla. 1 teaspoon, so 2. Then I'm going to mash the bananas up. I just sent like my nail straight into the plate and it shouldn't like a shock on my finger. I just mush it up like this. I still leave a little bit chunky just because I like some chunks in my banana. And you know there's banana in it. I mix all the wet ingredients for this recipe, and I will put the recipe down in the description for this video for you, and then I mix in the dry ingredients. Normally, if I was baking for somebody else, I would have just washed my hands instead of just like any makeup on my, any makeup on my finger. I gotta wipe that off. Normally, I would go wash my hands, but it's just for me and the kids. So, flour. I'm not sure if I have a flour here. Maybe we'll find out. level it. So 3. I am running low on flour. That's okay, just mix some more up. I know some of you have asked how you can, help out the Hot Mess household and, help us continue to bake our breads at home and do all of those kind of things. And you've asked like what kind of ingredients I use in them and what ones, like, friends and family even have been like, hey, like, can I buy you some flour? Because you're always baking and you're always sharing your breads with me. So can, I get you some flour or something? What kind of stuff do you go through when you bake? I'm going to be updating my Amazon wish list, which is down in the description. So if there's anything that you want to, help me be able to stay home with my children, bake us, wholesome foods, prepare great meals that are healthy, or whatever, you can go ahead and check that out. So before I mix in the flour, I'm going to add baking soda. Put that on. I like the arm power that has to go into it. And I know I'm not giving you guys the best view. This is just kind of like just another day in the life. Like, I'll do some better videos later, but now it gets the real arm action. You gotta like hug it. And I'm sure some of you are like, why aren't you just putting it in the mixer? It's right there. Like I said, this is just my thing. And this hair in my face is driving me nuts. I feel like I'm back in the 90s, like. I won't do curtain bangs again, I'll tell you what. And even though I know I followed the recipe, I always taste my stuff. Because how else do you know something's off? That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is to grease the pans. They're non-stick, but you still need to grease it. So I pour butter on the inside of the pan. The bottom, I pay careful attention to the corners. I know I'm not really. I'm gonna just go through and kind of take any the chunks that are still in there are necessary. So that has a little bit all over the place. Dust in it. It's like flour, but oh yeah, it's because I got flour all over my pans. And that's why they were still sitting out, because they were all way tough. I was like, oh, I want to bake anyways. Who cares? And then I just left them there for like a week and didn't bake. Ate all the bananas. Had to get some more. This is not the easiest tool to do this with, but it's just what I had in the butter, so. Comes in that silicone set, by the way. Alright, so now should probably preheat the oven. Pans in there. Darn, I don't have room for this in the dishwasher. Stick your hand under the boiling hot water. It stinks a little bit. Alright, so these are ready to go in the oven as soon as it's preheated. recipe. And I have to pause the video so I can pull up the recipe for the rhubarb crunch crisp whatever stuff that I saw on Pinterest. So I'll be right back. So I have started making the rhubarb crisp recipe, and right now I have water, flour, and cornstarch coming up to a simmer on the stove to pour over the rhubarb that I've already layered over the crumble, and then I have to put the rest of the crumble on top, and I'll show you in a second. I just got stuff on my hands. Okay, so underneath there is crumble, 4 cups of chopped rhubarb, more crumble to put on top, plus more rhubarb. It's a compost. And this is the concoction that's gotta cook. This recipe I will include in the comments as well. And I also have a Pinterest board. If you guys don't follow me on Pinterest, and the Pinterest board is recipes I've tried and like. So if you're ever wondering like what kind of things I've made, what I like, what I would absolutely make again, and quite often I go to those lists and I do make them again. If you want to see what any of that stuff is, I will include a link to that down below. For now, I am starting dishes. I think I'm gonna go do a little laundry after this is done. Maybe I'll let it sit till tomorrow. Let's knock you over. All the way down over here. It's supposed to get thick and syrupy, so I'm feeling it's going to be a while. Well, while this simmers, I'm not going to make you stand here and just listen to my dishwasher, so do you want to watch it? I didn't think so. So I'll be back when it's just about ready to pour over that, and then I will put the rest of the crumble on top, and we'll check the banana bread. All right, so this is gelatinous goop. So let me get it on, get the food together, and get it baking. And that's that. It's ready to go in the oven. That's still got about a half hour before I turn the breads around, and then it has another half hour. So this is going to be sitting here for a while. And I'm probably going to cover it up with something so the cats don't try to get up in. Plain washcloth. Good to go. Banana bread is cooking. Don't want too much heat out of the oven there. Let's spin you. Ooh, let's get out of this dishwasher area. Oh, let me give you, I guess, a little bit of an update in here. So the trellis has not been put outside, but it has been completely put together. My compost to go out, including the stuff that I had just put together from the banana bread. I haven't put the rhubarb out here yet. Just some stuff that's dead that the kids brought from school. Look, there is new, let me turn you around. There is new growth right there, and here. New growth on them. That makes me so happy. The aloe is looking very healthy. The cats chewed on the kids' plant that they brought home from school. And this is marigold, I think. And then lettuce that I grabbed at the store. And look, there's plants growing out the sides of it. I'm super excited to see what happens with these. Those will go outside. Yes, I need to do new water. It's been in there since yesterday. It's already yellowing. Started some more broccoli seeds. I don't know what those are going to do. Yeah, exciting. Obviously, this isn't a garden update, but I just wanted to show you because I was so excited that things are happening. Actually, just leave it open. And then the kids' herbs on the windowsill. The first round of them were dampening off, whatever that is, and we planted another round and they're doing it again. They're just like halfway up the stalk, they're just like folding in half and dying. So I was reading into it. It can be caused by a bacteria or something on the surface of my hair is so big. Sorry. Bacteria or whatever on the surface of the soil, and it's just everything's going to look like it takes off, and if it survives, it's going to be weak and won't really produce much of anything. And yeah, so all of those herbs are, and we planted them like two, some of them 3 times just to see what would happen, and that's what's happening. So that's that, and we will do other herbs elsewhere outside. I wonder how well you can hear me over the dishwasher. I gotta find another rhubarb recipe, but for now I'm gonna wait until that banana bread is done. So this is farewell for now. I will grab my camera again when I am ready to pull it out of the oven, and you know, I'll probably just wait until both are done and I'll just show you the deliciousness. Maybe I'll just show you me eating it. We'll see. But that's how we'll finish off in just a second. So the dishwasher's still going. Sorry, I was like choking on myself. Like, am I the only one who chokes on my own saliva? I trip upstairs like I'm special. So I just pulled the banana bread out of the oven. It dumped right out of the pan. Barely anything. It didn't like stick. Cut my loaves. I have not had lunch yet because I have been waiting. Again, apologies for the loudness. I've been waiting to have some banana bread. So that's what I am going to have for lunch. And I'm going to cut a slice right out of the middle. And I know you're probably saying, that's not a slice, that's a chunk. And you would be correct. separate it all apart. Usually it stays together. I cut it up already. Sometimes I cut it before I butter, sometimes I cut it after. Today I cut it before I started buttering. I'll show you. I cut it up 3 that way, 1 that way, before putting butter on, because I want the butter to sit down inside since it's melty. Cinnamon sugar, and I'm putting a lot on because today I don't care. Got my banana bread, my drink, my twerk. I'm gonna go enjoy, and I will see you when the delicious rhubarb dish comes out. Yeah? Cheers. It's still like almost hot from the oven. And like the top is like crispy. Alright. I'm gonna like chow this down in a not so pretty way. So I'll see you in a minute. So the bake is done. I'm about to try some and see how it turned out. Sure it's hot. Let's give it a try. It smells amazing. Definitely hot. That is really good. It's a recipe I've never made before. Like I said, I just found it on Pinterest. Ooh, hot. Alright, I'm gonna let that sit. I want to keep eating it, but I can't enjoy it because it's so hot. So I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna enjoy that. I just went outside and watered. I think maybe I'll wait and give you guys an updated like garden tour until Tuesday-ish. Maybe Wednesday is when you'll see it. Only because I'm waiting for things to happen. Like, there's not really a whole lot happening. There's a few peas, there's the onions. That's about it right now because the squirrel had eaten everything. So I had to start everything over, like everything over. I'm actually going to, I'll take you with me now. I really want to eat this, but it's way too hot. I'm gonna grab out my broccoli and cauliflower seeds, I think, as well as beet and carrot seeds to give my mom, because I'm not having luck planting any of that stuff. A couple of the cauliflower we're trying, but they're just not. So I'm gonna give those to them, and they're giving me some tomato plants. Not sure if they'll have anything else to pass along. Let's see. Onion, turnip, rutabaga. I got lots of seeds. Carrots, beets. So I'm gonna get a lot of seeds. This is what's left of broccoli and cauliflower. we're gonna do some seed trading, and I may try to convince them to grow me some. I just can't get them to grow here, or I might give it one more go. Let's see, what do I got? Broken cauliflower, but carrots. I got Scarlet Nantes and Red Cord Chardonnay. Maybe I'll keep the Red Cord Chardonnay, or Chantenay, or what? Chardonnay. Anybody who knows gardening, just let that go. I think I need a glass of Chardonnay. Alright, this is all the stuff that I still want to plant this year. I've been in the top of my box. Put the carrots back in my box. Oh, leave the carrots on top. Oh no, because of cats. Okay, when you close something, it's kind of annoying to try to open. Just because, and you gotta open it just because you forgot to have something in there. Alright, well, these I will put in my purse, or at least up aside to bring them tomorrow. Oh, am I tripping over? So yeah, oh, they're running so. All right, guys, so that's kind of how my Friday has gone today. Tonight is make pizza with the kids, movie night, slumber party. Tomorrow I work in the studio, so I'm not going to be getting a lot done as far as vlogging goes. You'll see this next week. Just is what it is. I'll probably throw it in with whatever else I get this weekend. Oh my goodness, twice in a row hiccuped. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. Take care and stay healthy.